and welcome to another episode of Over the Curb podcast, a Formula One podcast for fans old and new by Formula One fans old and new. Today we are talking about Brazil GP. Pew, pew, pew. Brazil delivers. Man, Brazil is so awesome. Make Brazil the season finale again. I'm joined by Shakuni and Honey Badger. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Thank
I
you.
forgot.
Thank you for the introduction. Thank you.
I'm highly obliged.
Dude, so welcome to Brazil GP podcast, review
This
podcast,
podcast is going to be 78 hours long.
or should we call it the McLaren Bumper Cars edition?
Yes.
Or 13 reasons why Max didn't let Checo pass.
Oh my
You pick.
No, I think
No,
this
I
should
will.
be
I will
called
go. I
the
will go. I
battle
will
of the
take the
teammates.
question with Lagan. I will take the question with Lagan. Barish gira. George Russell jeeta. Dugna Lagan.
No, I think we should call this battle of the teammates because it
Or-
was
or-
just that.
Or should we call this episode as Bottas the best wingman?
Yeah, Bottas the best
Oh,
wingman. Oh my
Bottas
god.
full heart.
Yes.
Full heart Bottas.
But
But
see,
also,
the
like, I
thing is
think,
that
Hamilton has given places to Bottas as well, right? Whenever Bottas.
yeah,
is
he
Yeah,
has.
yeah.
Yeah,
In
he
Hungary.
has.
Well,
Yeah. Hungary 2017, I think, right?
18.
18. Okay.
Was it?
I
Was it
was-
17? I think
Maybe
it's
17
18.
or 18. I don't know. You
Yeah.
will get the answer in 1 or 2 months because I am currently watching 2017 season. So I will let you
Ooh.
know.
Please, for the sake of God, skip Singapore GP, please.
No, man, I've already sat through 2016 Malaysia. I knew what was going to happen. I still shouted so loudly, both my cats got scared.
Oh, the Hamilton DNF.
I am Hamilton DNF. I gotta say, not the best season for Lewis.
Which year was the crash gate? 2013, na? 14.
Crashgate was way before that.
Crashgate was
know.
2007 or 8 maybe.
7 or 8 or something. Yeah. It was after Alonso won both his championships or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Crashgate was. But based on the
Acha,
rumors,
look.
we might have a Crashgate 2.0 on our hands. But
Yeah.
What?
okay, the Monaco thing. But we'll get to that. Let's start
yes.
from qualifying. Qualifying. Wet qualifying. For 6 minutes of Q1, it was wet. And then it was dry. But man, there was a point when we had Latifi P1, we had Alonso P1, we had Mick Schumacher P1, and this is when everybody has set times. It's not even like they were the ones first out of the pit lane, so they were the ones who set the time. It's everybody has set the time, and we had Latifi P1 for a hot
We had
second.
Vettel P1 also at one point, I guess.
I mean, he's
Oh,
Vettel.
No.
Vettel can
Wait.
do it,
We
but-
had a proper, like, the OG Formula fans, one fans. We got a proper, testimonial. We had Hamilton, Alonso, Vettel, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's when all of us shouted, "Stop the clock! Stop the clock!" We all channeled our inner Trump. Anyways, yeah. So qualifying, man, that was the most intense Q1 I have ever seen. And yet somehow the elimination were your pretty standard eliminations.
Yes.
The only difference was Latifi was not P20.
I don't understand, with so much happening in Q1, how are these the eliminations, with Hamilton literally fighting to get out of the bottom 5, with so much happening, Vettel also rarely getting out. What was happening?
Man, but like
Suddenly everyone got paid.
yeah, but it was an interesting Q1 to say the least. Unfortunately for me, I was on a work call at the exact same time.
Damn, I hope you were on mute.
No, I was not on mute, so I could not react, but I was waiting for the meeting to get over because I wanted to shout in joy because it was such a good Q1. And then I was waiting for the meeting to get over before Q3, and it did not. And I was very sad because I could not shout. But
I didn't even realize we have a race this weekend until you asked for the predictions for Brazil.
yeah, how
I-
lucky are you that we are there in your life, because you would have missed the Brazilian GP.
The most
That's
amazing
not
race
true. That's
of
not
this
true.
year.
I have F1 notifications on. So anyway, I would have
Yeah,
gone
but
to
you were so confused because you were like, I think you also did not remember that this was a sprint weekend,
Yeah. That is correct.
right? Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah. Okay. What else happened in qualifying? Of course, Latifi P1 and out. It was very much like Hungary, Latifi does a fastest first sector and still P20 and gets out in Q1. Very much reminiscent of that. But let's talk about the very uneventful and yet very eventful Q3. Because in 2 minutes, that Q3 gave Formula One fans more joy than these 20 races have given us.
No,
Because
also anger for Ferrari fans because what was that strategy?
my God. Okay.
Good.
Okay,
I'll let
I
you
have
laugh.
a
I'll
quote.
let you laugh.
I have a
Have a
quote
good laugh.
from this Laurent guy. I don't know who he is. Is he your strategist? Laurent Mekies?
No, race
I don't know who
strategist
this
is, I think, Iñaki Rueda.
Okay, but this guy said this qualifying was a lottery. We knew rain was imminent, so we split the strategies, which could have rewarded either Charles or Carlos. We are sorry for Charles, but this was a good test for the future. Why are you testing the better strategy on the driver that is not fighting for P2 in the championship? What are you doing? The entire grid is outsold. Why are you splitting strategies then? And even if you want to split strategy, give Carlos the Inters. Oh my God.
Mansi.
No,
So
even better was Leclerc still asking, "Am I the only one on Inter?" Like, yes, Leclerc, yes, Charles, you are the only one. He was shouting, but no one heard.
And then he does one extra lap on Inters. I don't know why. Like, why did he just not come into the. No. So he does an out lap and then he
Yeah.
does another lap and he
So
blocks
that
Perez.
happened because of a mix-up of the box, so of the pit lane. So for
It
Charles,
does not matter if they have
yeah,
not
I
asked
know.
him to come
That
into the
is-
box. Just go into the box. You're not going to set up a time any which ways that is faster than people on softs. Just come into the box. He screwed his own qualifying and he was ahead of Perez and Perez could not do anything.
Oh yeah, that was so amazing. He screwed Perez's race also. Perez for half the race, half the track, he was just like, please someone get Leclerc out.
see, F1 posted that video on Instagram and it had a caption which says, Checo had the best seat to see Charles Leclerc struggle through the Q3 stint with his Inters.
Yeah. And I mean, considering that they are the ones fighting for P2, big strategy brains, man. Big strategy brains
Big
because now
strategy
they're
brains.
going into Abu Dhabi level on points.
I understand the idea behind Ferrari going for Inters, but I'll tell you. So a similar incident happened in Japan to 2018, I guess, where I think Vettel came out on softs in Q3 and track was kind of wet,
Okay.
but both the Mercedes came out on Inters, and Ferrari were confident that Sebastian can put a lap together, and if he sets the lap time, then it will be confirmed pole position. But Vettel being Vettel, and 2018 second half, he spun. He lost the control of the car and he went off the track. And later, what happened is the rain got increased and Vettel had to pit and he had to come on Inters again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he wasn't able to set up a time where Mercedes nailed it completely. So they termed it as a master stroke. Then Ferrari tried to do something similar, but at the wrong time.
At the wrong time, yes. If George hadn't crashed, and I mean, if George hadn't crashed, everybody had set time on soft, so there was no point. It would have been like Imola Q2. So
also, Mansi, do you remember there is one qualifying session where Russell went on softs when the track was wet?
Canada.
Do you remember that?
Canada.
Was
year.
it Canada, right? Yeah. So,
yeah.
Similarly, yeah.
Yeah, he took a gamble, but that was the wrong gamble. But in all fairness, had he made it through that second turn, he was guaranteed pole because that was the only wettest patch where he went off. That was the wettest patch on that track.
Yeah. But I understand
But
Ferrari
you do
going.
understand that the risk that they took was at the worst possible time for Leclerc.
Yeah, that I'll agree.
I mean, see, if you want to take that risk, go with Sainz. He already has a
Yeah.
Yeah,
five
he
place
has a
grid
penalty. Yeah.
So it
And
doesn't
he's
matter
not
if he
fighting
drops
for
down.
P2.
He's not fighting for
Yes,
P2. Yeah.
exactly. Even for P4, Sainz is way behind now. He's what, 20 points or something behind Hamilton now.
Yeah, and man, that Mercedes is looking fine now. It's looking so
Yeah.
fine.
The silver arrows are back. Doo, 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 doo.
Yes. Okay. What else happened in? Oh my God, we've not talked about the best thing that happened in
Yes,
Q3.
I was waiting for it. The pole.
Kevin Magnussen pole. Oh my
Big boy
God.
K-Mag pole.
K-Mag, the beauty.
Dude,
Oh my God.
okay, I agree
Yeah.
he was lucky, but setting up the time on the tires faster than everyone is also a skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
we
mean,
cannot
Max was
take anything
also
away.
from him. Max also had
Away
a
from-
good, like everybody had a chance to set the time, right? And
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was the one who set the fastest time. And then George did his whole thing. And yeah, we had 8 minutes of just waiting to see if
Yes.
people can go out on wets or not, on slicks or not. And they couldn't.
Well, somebody's crying from the corner,
Who is?
and it is Nikita Mazepin.
It was his time. See, it was his time. Kevin is sitting in his spot. It was Mazepin's time to shine.
Man, Mazepin would have been out in Q1, so it doesn't even matter.
Mazepin would have taken half the grid in Q1.
Mazepin would have been in Latifi's place.
Dude,
Oh.
if he spun in the desert, how do you think he's going to do in a wet quali in Brazil? It's not even the Russian rain, right? It's
No, at least
Brazilian
yeah.
rain.
He
It's
thinks
not the
that he can
Russian
do
rain,
it,
which
right?
we can predict, na.
Dude, a lot of people think they can do a lot of things. Does not mean they can actually do it.
Yeah. But he's crying because he thinks he can do it.
Yeah. He thinks
I mean,
it's his car.
whatever lets him sleep at night, man. Whatever lets him sleep at night. There's no way we would have had a Haas pole if Mazepin was in that other seat.
Oh God. But I am very, very happy for K-Mag.
Very happy.
K-Mag.
Yes.
The result, the race sprint result, it doesn't matter that much to me as much as I'm happy with the pole for him.
Yeah,
Like
it was
his
such a
end
wholesome
that was kind
moment.
of expected.
It was such a wholesome
Yeah.
moment because Kevin did not know what to do when he gets pole.
Yeah.
Like, he
Everyone
had
was
no
explaining to
idea.
him. It was so
He had
cute.
no idea. It was so
It was
cute.
so cute. The whoever the marketing guy was of Haas, he was telling him that now you have to go there, you have to get your weights measured, and all. I'm like, oh my God, that is so cute.
Did anyone interview Gunther Steiner?
I think they did. After the race, there was an interview.
Did he say we are looking like a bunch of rock stars now?
Yeah, I don't
am
think
not
so, but
sure.
I think there were a lot of on Twitter, a lot of teams replied to their tweet of saying that Magnussen got pole, and I think it was either Alpine or Alfa Romeo. I don't remember which one who said that. Congratulations, you bunch of rock stars! Like, I mean,
He should.
it was
He
coming.
should have said it
coming.
for. He
Yeah,
should have said
man.
it for just for the meme purpose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have said it.
But the thing is that every F1 team was happy with this.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
no one was
whole-
butthurt or anything. It was like, yes, we
Bro,
all agree
I'm
with this.
telling you, if there was one moment in this entire weekend that united the entire F1 community, teams, fans, everybody together, was K-Mac pole.
K-Mag on pole.
That
Damn.
was the only thing.
Oh, don't you think George's win united everyone?
No, not united. I mean, I don't think so.
I don't
They
think
would have
so. I don't think so.
united. No. The hatred
there is a
for
whole team-
Mercedes
there is a whole team.
runs
Yeah.
very deep in some other camps. So I will not name which camp, but at this point you should know. But yeah, I don't think George Russell win would unite people the same way it came, because it's like the biggest fan bases that are often at odds with each other had no had nothing in this, right? It was not like the other driver from the enemy camp got a benefit. It was just a third party who just, it didn't even matter to anybody, because they were also like, it does not matter, tomorrow he's not going to be able to hold on to that. But he did hold on to it. He led one one lap. He led 2 laps in the sprint, and I'm proud of
No,
that.
one lap. In the second lap only he was
No.
overtaken.
He
No,
got
no, he
overtaken
led
on
2
lap
laps.
3. He led
Lap
2
3
laps.
he got overtaken.
Yeah.
Oh man, K-Mag, happy for you, bro. You hold Verstappen for 2 laps.
Yeah.
But like
Okay.
K-Mag started pushing from right from the start, but he couldn't do much. The car's potential is up to that
Yeah,
only.
yeah,
You
yeah.
do
That
realize
is
he
the
was against
potential.
one of the fastest cars on the grid.
Yeah,
If not the fastest.
So I was thinking while watching. Okay, I'll talk about it when I come to the race.
Okay.
Better.
All right, let's talk about the sprint.
Oh.
K-Mag, props to the guy. For a guy who's gotten so many meatball flags, this was the perfect race start. I think he just got every single like just any instinct of crashing in the earlier races of the season so that he could nail this perfect start. Because what a start, dude. By the end of lap 1, he had a good lead over Max. Like at least a 1 second lead over Max. Like he wouldn't have been an immediate danger if DRS was enabled on lap 2, which it wasn't. It was enabled on lap 3. But yeah, I think he did a wonderful job at the start. I did not expect that. I think we were talking about, no, we did expect that. We were like, either he's going to take out that person who's on second position, or he's going to have a good lead over the
Max.
rest of the pack by
Yeah,
the end
Yeah,
of lap 1.
it's either kamikaze or I fly away.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
either or.
And he kind of flew away. So the amazing thing is
Yeah.
that Hamilton and Verstappen battle last for long. If they were battling together for like 4 to 5 laps, easily Magnussen would have escaped into oblivion.
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah, those
is
two
true.
kind of sorted their positions out, and Verstappen came to attack and got him at the end. But yeah,
It
if
was
they
not
kept
Hamilton, it
fighting
was
for each
Russell.
other, was it? Russell.
Russell.
Hamilton
No.
was
Yeah.
to P8.
Yeah.
Hamilton was P8.
Russell.
We got a mini 2021 flashback of Hamilton making his way through the pack.
Yeah.
I
So
mean-
Russell and Verstappen, they were
Yeah.
too close. Like the first 2 laps, they were fighting too closely.
Verstappen was proper claws out in this race. He
Yeah,
was
yeah.
literally going to kill whoever was coming in his way. He was just going left, right without looking anywhere.
Not for
Yeah.
the lack of trying, but yeah. Let's talk about the battle of the teammates. In sprint, we had Alonso and Ocon.
Oh.
Man.
Oh, even the Seb thing also happened in sprint, na?
Yeah.
Sprint,
But
yeah.
let's talk about the Alpines first, and then we'll talk about the Aston
Okay.
Martins.
Dude, I think Ocon doesn't like Fernando. For
Ocon
some
does
reason.
not like any of his teammates. He's done the same to Perez. He's done the same to Alonso. I think Ocon does not do well.
But Perez
So-
was the hothead in Force India, as
Yeah,
told to me by
yeah.
Honey Badger.
He
Perez
was the hothead.
that time.
He was the hothead, but if you remember, whenever it was battle between Perez and Ocon, it was always Ocon who used to push Perez out. Perez was the hothead because he always went for those small gaps for overtake, but it was always Ocon who got the penalties.
Penalties, okay, I'm not sure, but Ocon was the one who suffered a lot because of Perez. Be it Spa 2018, no, Spa? Yeah, I think Spa only.
Yeah,
Spa 2018.
when both of them collided with each
both
other.
crashed,
Yeah.
and Singapore 2018 again. Perez put him into the wall.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I remember that also. Courtesy
yeah,
Drive to
Perez
Survive.
was so one reason because Perez was not sure of his future and he was driving kind of
For his life.
to make a statement or something, and he was the hothead. I didn't like Perez in 2018. I gradually now I like him, but back then I didn't like him at all. So at that time Ocon seemed to be a future world champion or a young rookie after someone similar to like Lewis Hamilton or Sebastian Vettel. He looked
And
like
what
that. He
are your
had that
thoughts
hunger.
now? What are your thoughts now on Ocon?
I mean, see, showing the potential is one thing, and keeping up that potential is whole another ball game. You need to be consistent, and you need to work hard to be on that level. So he has the potential, but I'm not sure. At this point, I'm not sure whether he can reach that level or not. Yeah, I still feel he has the potential.
Yeah,
If
man,
he doesn't have potential, see, only one reason if he doesn't have potential, I think Toto Wolff wouldn't have cared for him that much.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't see a future for Ocon in the Mercedes. Like, I
That's
think
what I'm
Yeah.
saying. No.
he's become an Alpine boy now.
Yeah.
More
Alpine
of
boy or yeah, please go ahead.
you finish. Anyway, you finish.
Alpine boy or I don't think whatever team you are in, it doesn't matter. But see, you can see Charles, right? He was in Alfa Romeo for 1 year and he directly jumped into Ferrari. So sometimes you need to get the right time also to jump into a good team. But in the case of Ocon, I think the time is not right, and the career choices he's making is also not right. But I think had he stayed with Mercedes, had he persisted there, I still think Ocon and Russell will be are the future for Mercedes. I still believe.
We'll find out maybe.
I don't see Ocon at Mercedes now.
I don't see, because I think throughout these years, in his conduct, he has shown that he's not a team player. Like even right now with Alonso, and I don't think next year Pierre Gasly going to Alpine is going to help his case, because again, it's a very known fact that they both don't like each other. And I think
Yeah, they
what
were huge
goes to
rivals.
show
I don't
is,
understand how he is given the chance.
yes,
I
and
mean,
I think that Ocon is showing, at least this year, right from Saudi, when they were just going at it. I mean, of course, very good from an entertainment point of view, but Ocon has shown time and again that he's not ready to play the team game. So I really don't think that he has that kind of, like, it's sometimes it's going to be about the team as well, and Ocon does not seem to be the guy who's going to play that team game. Like
Yeah.
even in the
Was it-
race, they were like, let Alonso pass, and he was like, no, I can't promise that, I have to cross Vettel. And I'm like, nobody's asking you to not pass Vettel, but let Alonso through easy. And like they had to literally threaten him to let Alonso pass.
Was it this year Jeddah or last year's Jeddah?
No,
where
this year's Jeddah.
This
This
year's
year's
Jeddah.
Jeddah, when they were fighting each other. Yeah.
Yes.
Elbows out. No, good for the
Even
entertainment.
last year also they were in kind of similar space only. If I
Man,
am not wrong.
last year's Jeddah is remembered for a whole other shitload of things. Like, nobody
Yeah.
remembers what was happening with Alpine, because everybody was too focused about what is happening at the front.
Lewis and Max. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But if you remember, Ocon was the one who was leading after the safety car restart. If you remember correctly,
I don't know. I'll have to check my notes.
they asked Max to give up the position to Ocon during the safety car restart.
No, that was with Sainz, right? Something happened with Sainz. It was Sainz and Checo. Checo came out of the pits, and then, or Carlos came out of the pits, and then the other guy.
it was Checo and Sainz. It was Checo and Sainz.
Checo and Carlos Sainz.
I think for one safety car restart, I think Ocon was leading or in P2. I'm not sure, but he was there.
Oh yeah, that was last year.
Last year. I'm talking about last year.
Yeah. Last year there was it was that safety car restart. I think it was a red flag. That was when the whole what do you think? The negotiation about the position was happening with Max and Red Bull.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. That is when Ocon started on pole. Yeah, and that was a red flag restart.
But again, Alonso was the one who defended Hamilton off to give Hungary win to Ocon.
Yeah.
Jeez,
that is true.
You're not remembering anything. This is the betrayal version of
What
teammates.
betrayal version? No. I was confused about which Jeddah you were talking about. I thought you were talking about 2022, and I was like, Ocon never led 2022. They were like 6th or 7th or something. That's why I got confused. I remember 2021, Ocon was leading for a lap, but it was a red flag, not a safety car.
Yeah.
It was
I think in 2021 also they had a little bit of fight, if I am not wrong.
Yeah, but it was not this intense.
And why are we talking about Jeddah?
I mean, we have too much to talk about this this Brazilian GP. Okay, and let's talk about the other veteran who was hassled by his younger teammate Vettel and Stroll.
How did you bring Latifi in this?
I hear veteran. I felt Latifi.
See, if she would have said goat, I would have gone for Latifi also, but she said veteran.
Okay. So, Vettel versus Stroll. 10-second penalty for Stroll. What are your thoughts?
I agree with that.
From the last stream, I take my words back. So during the USGP review, I unnecessarily tried to defend Stroll. I take my words back. The mirrors work perfectly, but this idiot doesn't know how to look into the mirrors.
Even I think Martin Brundle or Crofty, I mean whoever was in the commentary box, they did say
Uh,
that this is what Stroll did in US as well. And I was like, oh, there goes Honey Badger's defense for Stroll. But like, if there was ever an example of, tell me that you have no consequences of driving shit and losing your seat without telling me that you have no consequences for driving shit and losing your seat. It is Lance Stroll. That guy, right from the qualifying crash in Australia, like any time you take any example of a Stroll crash, it's mostly like he did not use his mirrors. It's a very simple solution for Stroll to improve his driving. Use the mirrors. I think that is the only reason they are making the mirrors big. I think most other drivers are able to see it in this size of mirrors, but it is only because of Stroll that they are going to have to increase the size of the mirrors.
Yep.
But do you think it was classified as a dangerous maneuver, but like a 10-second penalty, or do you think it should have been a 5-second penalty?
I would say 10 because there is not much gravel or something for Vettel. So if he would have crashed in the wall, it would have been a bit severe.
Nasty. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's why I think a 10 seconds is deserved.
But
It was kind of
don't
like
they
what
say
happened with Russell and Bottas.
okay, but don't they say that the consequence of it does not matter? Like what happened is not taken into consideration. It is solely judged basis the maneuver.
But the maneuver also, like Stroll deliberately moved to the left. He deliberately boxed Vettel in, na. So it was not more of a defense there. It
But
was
okay, did they give a penalty to Stroll in US?
No.
No, right? But
No,
so
they
then
didn't.
again inconsistent. It is the
Why
same
are you
thing, but
surprised? Why are you surprised? Wait, why are you surprised?
no, but I mean, again, Alonso was also at fault because he left it too late. But again, like Stroll did the exact same thing, like moving when he's not supposed to move. That's the crux of the matter. Is Stroll moved when he was not supposed to move, or Stroll moved too late. But I think
But
they were
kind of
like,
like,
oh,
so I think this is how it works. Like, how in cricket it is that if you are outside of your crease, then the no ball is not given if it's above the waist. So it kind of like that is what they would have done in US also. Alonso was also at fault and was
you
Stroll.
give
So
the
let's not give
example
the
of the
fault.
one sport that I don't watch. One sport that I don't watch. That is the example you've given.
Honey Badger, any football reference for this? Por favor.
I don't think so. I cannot think
There's
of
nobody.
anything.
There are some things that only Stroll and Latifi can do, and you have no other example because they are that unique.
Out of the
So
box thinking.
yes, if there is one Canadian who is going to stick on the who's going to stay on the calendar and on the grid for longer, it is Lance Stroll. Good for him. Nepotism.
But what a cool reaction from Vettel, no? After
Yeah. it's
What
like,
else
okay.
is he going to say?
Oh,
What else is he going to say?
we heard Alonso's radio, right?
Yeah, but like he's Alonso, and like I mean, okay, I've heard Vettel's radio as well. I think it is in Russia in 2016 when he got hit, and I've heard the angry
Daniel
Vettel
Kvyat.
radio. Yeah, torpedo.
Yeah. 3 times, dude. 3 times.
Yeah, the
No, I
torpedo
think
thing
the
came
best one,
from.
for me, the best Vettel angry radio is when Alonso made him get out in Q2 when in qualifying. I forget which one. I think last year or last year only. He was like Alonso blocked him, Vettel turning for the final hot lap, and he was out of qualifying because he could not set his time. The timer hit 0. Alonso also got a penalty for it. I don't remember which race it is. Alonso
I mean,
got a
I'm
5 or
not
10 second
surprised.
penalty for it.
Not even surprised.
And it was very deliberate from Alonso, and Vettel was very pissed. He was abusing left, right, and center.
Yeah, but
Dude,
I mean,
it would have been fun.
Vettel was also like, "Oh, man, it's just one more race and I'm done with this shit."
Yeah, it was so sweet. It's like, okay, that's
Oh
it.
no, the memes you should see, dude. Oh. So they're
Yeah.
putting the Fernando's and Seb pics together, talking like the pics of them talking together, and like Fernando complaining about Ocon. See to Seb, like he's saying, oh, my teammate is an idiot. He doesn't know where to position his car and something like that.
Wait till next
Seb
year.
like, good luck for next year.
I know.
But Alonso has really traded an asshole for a moron.
Yeah, that is true. Next year should be fun. Like, at least, if nothing else, Alonso radios next year are going to be a lot of fun. If nothing else.
Oh, I can't
But
wait.
see, Alonso reacted very cool in this incident. Had it been
What?
Hamilton there, no,
Yeah.
he would have
Oh,
got
if
nice
Hamilton
being
would have
critical for 1
made this
week.
maneuver, Alonso would have stopped the
Hence
car.
my argument. He's a petty man. I'm telling you, he's a salty man. I'm telling you, if it was like, he's capable of reacting coolly, but he will just fly off the handle because it's Hamilton. I'm telling you, he's just
Dude.
move on, Alonso. Move
I'll
on.
come to that.
You can't say anything. You just admitted to it.
No, not about Alonso. I'll talk about Hamilton.
Yeah, okay, we'll talk about Hamilton. Okay. This is now a smallest gripe that I have with the TV direction, and it's about the timing tower. So we are on the last lap of the sprint, okay, and we are waiting to see if what was the battle in the last lap. Was it between Max and George for the win or whatever? There was one battle going on. I can't remember, and they are showing the positions gained by every driver. It's the last lap of the sprint, and they are showing the positions gained by every single position lost by the drivers. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? It's the last one. What are you doing? There's somebody in the other driver's DRS range, and I want to see what is happening. And they are showing positions gained or lost. So time tower, get your shit together.
Glad that we
Now-
don't have any affair runs this weekend.
We'll get to that. The Yuki thing, we'll get to that.
Oh, you're saying there are affair runs?
It's not exactly a rant. It's we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Okay.
I want to save it. Okay. So George Russell, the sprint winner.
Yeah. Go,
Thoughts?
Georgie.
I was so happy.
You know what made me even more happy?
What?
I had completely forgotten
1-2.
about Sainz penalty. So
Yeah.
when podium and
1-2,
everything, it
1-2.
was happening that Sainz is right now standing, but tomorrow it will be Mercedes 1. I was like,
Yeah.
yay.
It was actually, so the battle that I was talking about is it was Hamilton catching up Sainz, because I was like, because like you, Shakuni, I had also forgotten about Sainz's penalty, and I was under the impression that the penalty had already been applied, but that is not the case. The penalty was applied after the sprint. So,
Yeah.
and my only thing about the sprint was, but I was like, but wait, Hamilton got his penalty, and then I realized that no, okay, Hamilton was disqualified. That's why he started P20, and then once he got to P5 after the end of sprint, he was then given his 5th-place penalty. So I was like, yeah, okay, FIA, you did good there. So yeah, great
But
that a Mercedes victory came finally.
Hamilton and Sainz were flying in the sprint race.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolute raw pace.
Also, Sainz, for in a very weird way, in the race also, he was picking up cars left, right, and center.
Dude, I think he overtook. No, Charles overtook Lando in the first corner, I guess. No,
Charles was
Charles-
P10.
Charles?
Sainz
No.
started behind Norris.
Okay, so he
Yeah,
dived in,
Sainz-
dude. I think Sainz
No.
dived
Sainz
in.
was P6.
Sainz was P6. Okay, he dived in, overtaking some driver. That looked very beautiful, and he was. I don't know how much that. How did the pace come from? Where did that pace come from? But he was flying in a sprint race.
Why was that pace not given to Leclerc? Is my question.
I don't think anybody has any answer for that.
Because if you think about it from a strategy, world championship, whatever fucking point of view, Leclerc was the
Okay.
one who needed the best car.
I have an answer for that.
Okay.
Oh, please.
Okay, we'll get back to you. Slow button on.
Oh, we haven't talked about this. Max Verstappen and Gotifi, the two goats starting on mediums.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Goats, no.
Starting on
Goats
mediums.
do what goats do, man. Come on.
Dude,
Uh,
I lost the memory of what teams used what tires at what time. I don't have any information stored in my mind regarding
Yeah,
that.
no, but this was sprint, right? So sprint. I mean, I agree with you. Main race, I don't remember. The only thing I remember is nobody had hards on. I think except Alex Albon, who started on hards or something like that. But okay, I want to ask this. You know, if you look at the qualifying grid. Of course, K-Mag was pole. Then you had your normal people, but like Albon was 11th and Latifi was 16th as opposed to his usual P20. Do you think that this sprint made a case for having reverse grid, like the same format that F2 has? So like the sprint is a standalone race. It does not change the qualifying grid. Like, so the qualifying grid starts the same. So the race starts on the result of qualifying, but for the sprint you reverse the grid.
So reverse grid, I think it works in F1 only like in particular tracks, right? You
Tracks
can't
like
have reverse
Brazil.
grid for every
Yeah.
track. Tracks like Brazil, tracks like
Austria,
Bahrain,
Austria.
and even it works in Silverstone as well.
For
Silverstone also has
insights
wider roads.
on what tracks should hold sprint race in 2023, please listen to our episode on where should 2023 F1 sprint races take place. We have done the data analysis and then given our recommendations. Yes. Yeah. So tracks where overtaking is possible. I think that is what made Brazil one of the best races, because overtaking is possible on this track. And I think frankly that is what made Silverstone also. Like, of course there was rain and everything, but I think Silverstone was also, was there rain in Silverstone? I don't think so, right? No, there wasn't rain. There wasn't rain. But yeah. Okay. Are we done talking about sprint?
Yeah.
Anything
Any
else
more
left?
points?
Yeah, but like just the Max Verstappen medium tire thing, right? Medium tires, I think they did it to save an extra set of softs for the race, which, I mean, I guess it was a good plan, but it all went to shit in the race.
Yeah.
All right, so science penalty, we have a Mercedes 1-2 front row lockout, and I was buzzing for that race. Dude, from 10:30 our time, the race was supposed to start at 11:30. From 10:30 to 11:30, I think I would have checked my phone at least 100 times to see if it was the time for the race or not, because the time was so slow, because I was so excited for the race to start. But okay.
Sad times. Only if Hotstar displayed the pre-race
The
build-up.
race build-up, yeah.
I hate Hotstar. I genuinely hate Hotstar for how they are treating it.
We don't get any of the thing. No interviews, nothing.
Yeah, even media day, man. I want to watch all of that, but okay.
Oh, also, I was watching an older video. Why has the driver meeting thing stopped? The joint driver meeting.
Debrief.
No, I think there was
the time.
only
Yeah.
only one or two of them were actually broadcasted or something.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was the exception.
It was not an usual
That's
thing.
not a rule. That's not a rule. Driver briefings are
Yeah, but I'm
usually.
saying bring it back. I want it. It was so fun.
It was fun,
used
but
to chill.
I mean, no comments. All right, so let's talk about the race now. Dude, I think that this was so interesting. It had a lot of similarities to Silverstone, which is also like a what do you say, like one of the best races of the season. You have first lap chaos, and then you have a non Red Bull leading the race, and Max Verstappen is not in the fight for a long time because he does not have the pace, and then you have overtakes here and there, but then a late safety car sends everything into chaos. It was very reminiscent of Silverstone, I think. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
I think it was amazing. But let's get to the bumper car version by McLaren boys. Daniel Ricciardo, what are you doing? Oh, my heart.
Daniel Ricciardo taking out Kevin Magnussen.
The pole sitter.
Something familiar, Somewhere I've seen it.
Where has it happened?
It happened once before at the same track, turn 4, when Daniel was in Renault. Yeah.
Oh, damn. I did not know that. Oh.
It was in 2020 or 2019, I guess.
2020, I think.
2019, dude.
Was there a Brazil race in 2020? I don't think so.
I don't think so. There wasn't a Brazil. No, we had like two Bahrain races. One was the outer layout, and then one was the full track and all those kind of things. I don't think we had a Brazil race. It was 2019.
So in the first lap or second lap, I think, in the turn 4 where last year Lewis and Max went out out. You remember
Yeah, I remember.
that
Those
the
are the things
same
that I remember.
the same corner. Daniel in a similar fashion took out Kevin Magnussen.
Oh, but like, if
But
there was ever any instant karma, it was this. Like, he bumps into
instant,
Kevin
yeah.
Magnussen, Kevin spins and comes back and right into Daniel. But I mean, I think I will just say this for Daniel Ricciardo. Just one more race and then we are done with this shit, dude. I can't see Daniel Ricciardo like this. I don't know what he's doing. Mexico, I tried to defend him, but like, there is literally no justification that I can give today. Like, he just took him out.
Yeah.
And there was no need also. I don't think like there was good enough driving space. Everything was there. I don't know why he did
Yeah,
it.
I have no idea. But like, yeah, just stop this pain of watching Daniel Ricciardo do shitty things. I don't know
I
why
think
he's
he's
doing
on a
this.
self-destruction spree.
Yeah,
Like,
I think he's
whoever
done.
loved me once.
It hurts to talk about Daniel Ricciardo. Okay, what was the next collision? Was Lando and Charles next, or was Max and Lewis next?
Lando and Charles, no?
Was it? I don't remember. No, I think Lando
Yeah,
and Charles was much later. Oh yeah, no, it happened on the same time. But I think Max, because they both came into the pits at the same time. Charles and Max, both of them came into the pits at around the same time. Max to get his nose changed and Charles for, I think, a fresh set of tires. Yeah, so
maybe.
let's talk about the non-controversial one. Lando and Charles.
Again, McLaren bumper cars.
Yeah, I don't know why Lando did it.
Dude, there was no point in doing that, dude. There is.
But did
know
Lando
what
get
they're
any
doing.
penalty? I don't think Lando got any penalty for it.
No, he got a 5-second penalty.
5-second penalty, no?
Yeah, he got it.
I thought he
Yeah.
got away.
No, but kudos to Charles. He controlled the car and he drove back to the pits and got a new set. Because the moment I saw that, I was like, okay, that's P2 gone. Like, it does not, like, Charles is gone off and he's going to DNF. But like, he
Nice
controlled the
fight back.
car and he fought back. So
Dude,
kudos
I'm
to-
happy with Ferrari this weekend.
Yeah, it was not the usual disaster class that we get from them, but I mean, there were a bunch of questionable calls, to say the least. But yeah, okay, let's talk
I mean,
about the elephant
that
in the room. Yeah.
Safety car kind of played into their hands. If
Yeah.
not for the safety car, they would have been way worse,
Yeah.
and my opinion would have been different.
Yeah, but okay, let's talk about it, guys. We have to talk about this. Max versus Lewis.
Do we?
Yeah, I want to listen to what Hani Paja has to say because he knows what we have to say.
Yeah.
You guys
And
go
we won't
first.
hate you for anything, Honey Badger. We love you no matter what.
See,
Yes, we are still as big fan of yours.
I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
Hamilton is also salty on track.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we know that.
But
He respects only, he goes off the limits only with particular drivers.
Yeah.
Right? And he respects all other drivers.
okay, cool.
And two of those drivers are
Max and Alonso.
Alonso and Max.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
Thank you. That's my point.
Okay. But what do you say about what he said in the media pen later?
What about it?
He said that I knew he was not going to give me space and I knew we were going to crash, so I just went for it.
Oh, Max don't know this thing.
Yeah.
That penalty was justified, kind of. I
No,
don't mind.
penalty was justified. I mean,
Penalty was
Yeah.
justified. We are talking about what Max said and
his
what he did.
mentality, this crash and yield mentality. He said the same thing
okay.
about Mick Schumacher as well when he was fighting him
Okay.
in Silverstone.
Pause the podcast right now and go to 2018 or 2019 Brazil, where Max overtakes Lewis on the outside similar way.
Okay.
Back then,
Hmm.
what Lewis did there and what Lewis did today.
Okay.
Just check the two videos. I don't want to say anything.
But see, my point is,
Yes.
see, I know
Yeah.
I know everyone makes accident. Everyone is no one is here to make friends or anything. I understand that. But my point is, you can't outright come in the media and say that I did it deliberately.
I am not supporting that behavior. Let me
That
clarify.
is the
That is
behavior we
my-
are talking about. That is the behavior.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
he's,
yeah.
saying- he's made the
So,
same statement about Mick Schumacher as well when he was fighting him in Silverstone. I remember it very clearly. He said that Mick was wise to back off because I knew he needed the points. Because if he hadn't, we both would have crashed. This is what he said in Silverstone. And then here
Yeah.
also in Brazil. He said it cost me 5 seconds, it cost him the race win.
Max doesn't have any respect or any sportsmanship whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, it was very evident today.
Yeah,
Yesterday,
yeah.
I mean.
Not yesterday, dude. I've been seeing him from 2016 or 17. So I expect the least sportsmanship spirit from him.
I mean, I said it was obvious. All of us, like at least I, though, never had any expectation from from him, but I think a lot of people, especially Mexican fans
Like,
and Checo fans yesterday,
no,
man.
especially people who come from Drive to Survive, no, they don't have any respect for Max Verstappen.
People who
After seeing
come
the-
from Drive to Survive are people who are Max Verstappen fans. Most
No,
of
no,
them.
no, no, no.
What are you
Is it?
saying? Yeah,
Yeah, Max
But he
has
must-
gotten the most fans after DTS.
after Drive to Survive.
Because DTS
Because-
ensured of making Hamilton
Yeah, have you not
I
seen
win always.
the ecstatic way Christian Horner talks about the magic dust that surrounds Max Verstappen? And
I thought
Uh,
otherwise.
no.
No,
And
no.
100 and Mercedes was not even part of Drive to Survive season 1. Like they did not even participate in Drive to Survive season 1. Like it was just
Yeah. So
Max.
in whole season 1, Daniel is kind of the good guy, and Max is kind of a villain, right?
No.
No,
You got it wrong. No. You got it wrong. So in the DTS season 1, what they did was they portrayed Max as the
Golden
the
boy.
kid who is trying to make his place in this world where everyone is dominating, including his teammate Daniel Ricciardo, who is a championship material, but Max is trying to get his way and fighting Lewis Hamilton. The how many championships he had then? What, 5-6 championships
5,
or
6,
something?
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was 2018 season, right? So he was a 5-time world champion. Yeah, that's the
so
narrative.
a
No,
That's the
five-time
narrative
he
world
was
of
not
champion
around.
trying
five-time.
to make his space and all that. So that is what happened in DTS season 1. And after that, the Max fandom has increased. And after the 2020 or 2019 DTS, it has been all round Max.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know this. I'm still thinking. So all these things now. In 2019, Max refused to be on Drive to Survive. So because he thought he was not portrayed
He was not
appropriately
being
on
portrayed
the show.
correctly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That
it is more about, I don't know, man. But like most Max Verstappen fans I've seen have come out from Drive to Survive, or rather, I would say most Max Verstappen fans are not his fans. They are just Mercedes haters. They're just people who got tired of Mercedes domination. Maybe.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah, but I don't think you're a fan. You were just like, I
Yeah.
want to see somebody else win. But
Yes, exactly.
yeah, but like it's the fans who, but they've done a good job of now portraying, like at least especially after season 4, I think they've done a good job of portraying Max Verstappen as the good guy because he did participate in 2021.
I am against domination of a particular team in any sport, even though if it's my favorite team, I don't like it. So for 1 or 2 years, it's fine, but continuously winning like 4 to 5 years, the same guys winning, same.
But okay, so but like,
same
what
team
would
winning.
what would you say about, let's say, from next year until 2026, there is a 3-way battle, very much like 2021. I know 2021 was a 2-way battle, but let's say there is a 3-way battle between Mercedes, Red Bull, and Ferrari. But after that intense battle, it has always been just one driver and one team that comes out on top.
I will agree.
Is that
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
That in that case, a similar team winning every single time is okay. So yeah, crash versus yield mentality. Not just, guys, just stop. Like, I can't believe that he has come out in the media pen and said it, and there is just nothing. It's nothing. It's always about, oh, those two are going to go hard on each other. I'm like, okay, cool. I think after last year, Lewis is also like, he's not going. Why would he give respect to Max? I know Max was not wrong in whatever happened in Abu Dhabi, but man, I can't. I'm like, I have no problem if Lewis is salty about Max or even Alonso for that matter. It's not like he's been an innocent bystander in everything.
See, the only thing I was worried about is about that movie. So Max had nothing to lose. He already won the championship. Lewis has a lot to lose in that particular race.
Yeah.
And I kind of didn't like Lewis turning in like that. I mean, he could have gone wide. He could have taken the outside of the corner, and he could have done something. Dude, you should see that race, dude. I think.
But that's the point, Honey Badger. That's the point. It's always about the other driving thinking that they should be the one to yield because Max wouldn't. That is the problem. That is the problem. That should not always be the case. It's not always going to be the case. And the minute the other driver does not want to yield, you are going to have a crash.
Because Max has no yield.
Yeah, he's
If
not
I
going to
yield, I am weak.
That mentality is
in-
the problem. I agree.
Yeah, yeah.
Lewis could have done some things to avoid that collision, but why is it always expected of the other driver? Why was it expected of Mick Schumacher to bow out? Because he had a lot on stake, because he was the one who wanted to get his first points.
I was
But
about
why
to
is
say
it
the same thing.
always
So
expected of him?
that mentality is toxic, and the thought of ending someone's race and by crashing into their car, and or with the intention of something bad would happen to them,
Yeah.
it's just psychotic. I don't
And
support that
he
behavior.
he said it so
He said it on
nonchalantly.
media.
He said it on
Yeah.
media.
And
He was like so
with a very
casual
straight
about
face.
it.
Yeah,
He
with
was so
such a
casual
straight
about
face.
it. That is what bugged me. That is is what I don't like about Max Verstappen. He was like, it didn't cost me much. It just cost me 5 seconds. To him, it cost the race win. And I'm like, how are you okay with costing somebody a race win, or their entire race for that matter? He could have won. He couldn't have won. Maybe even then, George might have done everything in his power to win the race. But like, why would you take somebody out like that?
And this
If
is the
this would
same
have
guy who
happened, if
was.
this would have happened to him, he would have cried all night for it.
I'm telling this is the same guy who cribbed and cried when the Silverstone incident happened.
Yeah.
That
So-
how can he celebrate the win like that while I was in a hospital?
Yeah. And I mean, Silverstone was Lewis's fault. He got the penalty for it. He served his penalty and then he won the race. Yeah.
Which till date I think it's kind of racing incident only. But okay.
Man, I have heard both explanations.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I don't care. But this entire narrative that they started, and the smear campaign they started for Lewis after that, oh, he was trying to kill me. How can he celebrate a race? Like, man, he got the penalty, right? That is what the penalty should be. He took a driver out. He got the most extreme penalty that he could get. 10 seconds stop and go.
Yeah.
What else? To anybody calling out for his disqualification, that's not like, unless you can prove like somebody did it deliberately or something like that. Nobody's going to disqualify. Why would you disqualify somebody? Yeah. So yeah, that was stupid. Anyways,
So
what?
even Luis also after the race, he was like bossy and all in when I think Felipe Massa asked about the incident with Max.
Yeah, no,
He
he
was
said,
telling that-
he said,
how it's
how
like-
it is with Max.
Like with Max, yeah.
But that is wrong, right? This is not a general statement that he is always going to do this. That's not right.
Yeah.
A better version is so I think couple of laps or few laps later, who was that? Ocon and no, Stroll and some other guy. So someone overtook Stroll from the outside, and Stroll surprisingly gave enough room in this
I mean,
similar kind of incident.
I mean, it's Stroll, somebody who's known for not using his mirrors. But
Yeah.
I mean, see, my only problem is when it comes to battling with Max, it's always the other driver who's expected to yield, which is not right.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
you have to follow the rules of racing, and if it wasn't Max's corner, and if Max should have been the one to pack out, he should have packed out. And so I 100% support the penalty.
I badly want the Red Bull version of Vettel to race alongside with Max, dude.
That would be a battle.
Max
Yeah.
would be like a child only in front of him.
Yeah, Red Bull Sebastian is a different beast altogether. And okay, so let's talk about the Yuki thing. So safety car comes out after Norris's DNF, and lapped cars can now unlap themselves, and they don't allow Yuki. They only
I'll
give
tell
out
you the
numbers
exact
for-
statement. I'll tell
Yeah.
you the exact statement. Lapped cars may now overtake the safety car.
Yeah.
May.
And they only gave out the number for car number 23 and car number 6, which is Alex Albon and
Six.
Nicholas Latifi.
Nicolas
And-
Latifi, yeah.
And they gave some bullshit, some fucking explanation that he got lapped during VSC or this or that or whatever it is. I'm like, it shows +1 lap to us. Just do it. Just give out Yuki's number as well. Like, what are they doing? And I think I read somewhere that it is an automated system. And I'm like, of all the things that you can automate, this is the one that you go for. Like, this is the one that you go for. It's the most obvious thing. Anybody who's like +1 lap, you just allow themselves to unlap. Yuki lost. I know he was like 16th or something, but Yuki finished 18th because of that. Yeah. Tsunoda finished 17th. Obviously, there were 3 DNFs. So Tsunoda finished last because Albon and Latifi Latifi were allowed to unlap themselves and Yuki wasn't. They cost him a place. 2 places actually.
Yeah.
He was ahead of both of those drivers before the safety car. And I mean, I know it's not a points position, but like, why? So wrong thing to automate.
I was a little worried that there won't be any FIR on this weekend, and yet again you have brought out your famous dialogue. What are you doing, FIA?
But like, why is this thing the one they decide to automate? Like, of all the things, you have track limits, you have so many things that you can automate, and then I'm like, this is the most obvious. It's a no-brainer. Anybody who's been lapped by the lead driver gets to unlap themselves, and it's again some fucking weird loophole in the regulations, and I'm like, can't do this patchwork of closing these loopholes. Like, just sit one time this winter, sit down, look at your rule book, close all the loopholes, and then give the new rule book and tell them this is how we're going to do things from now on. Like, FIA, get your shit together. Anyways, okay, safety car is about to come in, and we get a series of team orders. So let's talk about the most simple one. Mercedes free to race each other. I think good call.
Great call.
I would have said let Lewis pass. I so wanted them to say let Lewis pass. If I was there, I would have been like, man, George, you gotta get out of his way. It's Brazil, man. It's Brazil. It's Lewis's home race. But yeah, I think they did a good job, and fair play to George Russell for all of those remaining 11-12 laps, whatever was remaining in that race. He did not make a single mistake with the threat of Lewis Hamilton catching up to him. Like,
he survived 2 race restarts.
Yes, he survived them very, very well.
Also,
George
going
was
back to
really
your
on point in the entire race. He was so on point.
Yeah.
Also, going back to your point, if Toto was there, I think there would have been a discussion.
Yeah, there would have been. Yeah.
And Russell would have obeyed also, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't think there would have been.
No,
I think so. They would have been. Like, that win would have meant a lot to Lewis. And I mean, George also has a sprint win. So I'm like, it's okay. But yeah.
Toto is the one to convince both.
Yeah. I think if anybody could have done that job, it would have been Toto. But so I think lucky for George that Toto wasn't there. But I think, man, if only they had one extra set of softs, I swear to you that race result would have been different. If Lewis Hamilton and George Russell both had fresh set of softs, I'm telling you, that result would have been different.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But so I heard Lewis say on the radio that these were the guys who, like Perez, Verstappen, Charles, Sainz, everyone are on fresh softs, right?
They were no
Perez on mediums, but all others were on fresh.
Nobody had fresh. Yeah, he thought that, but I don't think. No, I was watching it. Everybody had used softs.
2-3 laps. That's it.
Yeah. So I mean, even I think it was only Carlos Sainz who pitted under the safety car. Everybody else had their softs before that. So Carlos was the only person who could have been a threat, but he was again separated by Perez. I wasn't too worried about Carlos Sainz. I was more worried about whether Hamilton and George would be like, if Lewis would be able to overtake George for the race.
Dude, imagine Spain 2016
overtaking on the last lap for the race win.
No, Hamilton and Rosberg coming together.
Oh yeah, sorry. I confused it with Austria. Yeah. I mean,
Spain 20. You should have said Vettel's dream instead of
Vettel's
Spain
dream?
2016. Yeah, Vettel said, it's my dream if both of the Mercedes collide
both
and I win.
Mercedes take out each other.
Yeah,
he said that in a press conference also. But yeah, I think very clear instruction. You're allowed to race each other. Just be respectful. And I think they would have had Lewis and George come together. I think they would have been respectful of each other.
Yeah.
And then Ocon and Alonso. Oh my God, Ocon is not helping himself at all. Oh, what do you think of that?
We have already established the fact that Ocon doesn't like Alonso. So
he's not good
or
at playing
any
the
of
team.
his driver partner for that matter.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Ocon is part of the problem. It can't be every single time that the teammate is shitty, right? So I don't know, man. Ocon and Alonso have come together unnecessarily this year a lot of times, and
Yes.
most of the time it has been Ocon who is unnecessarily aggressive, and I don't understand why. I'm like, the dude is going next year, so what are you worried about? I don't know. Like, they let Alonso go because they wanted Ocon to be their chosen boy. Of course, they did not want to give him a longer contract and this and that. And so, like, I'm like, what are you worried about? And I mean, look at the amount of bad luck Alonso has had in that car. What is Ocon worried about? Why is he going so aggressively against Alonso? It's just, I don't understand. Like, without context, on paper, Ocon has beaten a 2-time world champion and one of the best drivers that Formula One has ever seen. If you take out the context of the amount of bad luck that Alonso has had. Okay, Ocon, okay. Now let's get to the more interesting things.
13 reasons why.
Ferrari
Oh,
first. Ferrari
Ferrari,
first.
okay.
We'll save the juiciest one for the last. Ferrari boys. Charles being asked to overtake Carlos. Of course, Carlos was in the final podium place. Do you think that they should have allowed?
No.
Carlos finished third.
No, I don't
But I think they should have helped Charles.
It was for 3 points. It's a
Yeah.
3-point difference.
Right now,
Or
he's
2
level on points with Perez, and we don't know how the last race will go. So every point matters. And I think Charles also said on the radio, right, that I'm fighting for
Yeah,
position
he's
or
fighting for
something.
P2 in.
Yeah.
And I mean, considering that, Max and Checo were even further behind, they were 6th and 7th.
They should have helped Charles a little, I feel, because this is a little wrong to me.
I mean, everybody's saying that it's like you can't take a podium away from somebody.
But how podium is way bigger than P2 in a championship, dude. If you ask me.
Yeah, but they are also the ones who took away Monaco from Charles. I know it's not Carlos's fault. They took away Silverstone from him by not pitting him. Ferrari has fucked him over so much. Like, the dude could have been fighting for P1, but he has to settle for P2, and they won't even let him have P2. I know it's a difficult call to make, and I think from Charles's radio it was obvious that it was something that they had already discussed. I think again Ferrari failed to discuss what the scenario would be if one of them was fighting for the podium. I think that strategy they made it half-baked because Ferrari did the opposite of what Red Bull did, right? Charles kept asking if they are going to ask Carlos to let him through, and Ferrari was like, we will get back to you, and they never did. So,
but now Mercedes is only 19 points behind Ferrari.
yes. But I mean, it is going to take it is going to take a DNF by either of the Ferraris to make sure that Mercedes wins P2 in constructors, because like if all 4 cars finish, there is no way, unless they finish like really like P9 P10, unless Ferrari finishes P9 P10 and both George and Lewis are on podium.
1-2.
Yeah, that is the only way that Mercedes will get P2 in the constructors. I kind of don't want them to, because I want them to have more wind tunnel time, but it's up to them how they want to decide this. But
you can always trust Ferrari in these matters.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I'm concerned is because of Ferrari's history. Like, even if Mercedes does not want P2 in the constructors, Ferrari can fuck shit up so bad that Mercedes ends up P2.
I am telling you, Ferrari is going to gift Mercedes that P2.
No, but I think at this point, the best thing for them is to be level on points, because if they're level on points, Ferrari gets P2, because then it's going to be about the positions where drivers have finished. And I think Ferrari has had obviously more race wins than Mercedes. So,
there's also a 19-point battle between Alpine and McLaren.
Yeah, McLaren is, dude, the way they are bumping into each other and the streak that Daniel Ricciardo is in, both Alpines will have to DNF and Lando Norris will have to finish on the podium, at least P2 or above, which is not happening. Imagine the number of cars that will have to DNF for Lando Norris to win a race.
And another, I think this one is the most exciting one. I'll be rooting for this. Alfa Romeo versus Aston Martin, 5 point difference.
Yeah, I'm tired of wishing that for two race weekends, I have predicted that Aston Martin will pass Alfa Romeo, and both weekends they've not scored points. So I'm going to not predict that because I want Vettel to win, to score good points in his last race. But okay, saving the juiciest team order for the end, Max and Checo. Sorry.
No,
Thoughts?
Maxi, no.
Thoughts.
That was so not right.
Thoughts, guys. Thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts.
It was Horner who was telling Max, right? I think it was Horner on the radio, right? In the end.
Both GP
Both.
and Horner, both.
Both of them.
Damn. Okay. I understand Max and his everything, but I feel not obeying team orders or something is in a way disrespectful. I don't know why every time any driver goes against that, I sometimes feel that it's disrespectful, even if it's a Ferrari team order, because those guys are also working as hard as you are. Not if as
Yeah.
hard, but they are working very hard. And if they are telling you something, please obey. He was not replying to the radio only.
Yeah.
It's like, Max, what happened? What happened? What happened? And I'm like, bro, how much ego do you have?
Yeah, and like, I mean, okay, let's talk about the statements and everything. Okay, so Max Verstappen said on the radio that I have already given you my reasons and I stand by them, and I don't want you to ask me ever to do that. So he's pretty much made it clear that he is never going to give up a position for a fellow teammate, while his fellow teammate has done it for the better part of 2 years.
Yep.
While being his teammate. And whatever, like, people can't contest me on this, but the 2021 championship, Max has won that championship because of Checo.
He even got the P2 in qualifying because of Checo. If you remember that toll Checo was
Toll
giving
thing.
him the
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
forget the term.
If it
but-
wasn't for that Checo defense in
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi, Lewis Hamilton would have had enough gap from Max Verstappen to pit under the safety car, and then Masi could have changed all the rules he wanted to change. If Max and Lewis both were on fresh set of softs, Lewis would have won the championship. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So he took out
That's
10
salty
seconds from
average.
Lewis's lead, at least in that race in Abu Dhabi, and eventually was forced to retire the car because he drove it so to the edge. That Checo defense was so amazing in the last race. Like, I was cheering for Lewis, but I was like, Checo, this is like a driving masterclass. Like, on older tires against Lewis on fresh mediums.
In the DRS.
In the DRS, yeah. Like, what a fucking great defense. And Max Verstappen, who is going to finish P6 in a title that has already been wrapped, cannot give his teammates 2 extra points for his battle for P2 in the Drivers' Championship.
And he is supposedly the best team player ever.
No, he's
As
not.
per his fan.
He's not. I don't think anybody has ever said that about Max Verstappen.
Please go right now. People are defending Max. I'm not kidding.
No,
Oh, yeah,
no,
I
no,
know.
no.
I know. People are defending Max.
Really?
Yeah?
Yeah.
People are saying Perez should have just driven faster. I'm like, the team did not pick Perez for
I
service.
have a even the most amazing one I read today. It was, yes, because Max is the champion. He can dictate how the sport governs right now. I'm like,
That's a weird amount of power you're giving to a hot-headed driver who has
I'm like,
no
wait,
compunction
so
for
you are
rules.
saying Lewis Hamilton for better part of 7 years did not know what to do after winning the championship?
Yeah, there are people who are
What?
fiercely defending Max Verstappen right now as we speak.
Yeah, they are saying even if Checo would have passed, he would not have passed Alonso. It doesn't matter. I'm like, but Max wala point to usko milta na, idiot.
Yes, 2 extra points, and right now they're going level into the championship. And if they do stay level on points, which I
Charles wins.
mean, I don't see it happening, but yeah, Charles wins P2 in the championship. And Checo's radio, of course, Christian Horner apologized to Checo, and Checo said that this just shows who he really is.
Yeah.
My, oh my,
Oh.
oh
The gloves are really off.
yes.
And
Ah.
when we said this, when Hamilton fans, we said that Max is an asshole. He's the the worst human on this grid right now. No one believed us. We
Yeah,
have
and
proof.
okay, and also this entire Monaco thing, right? What a load of shit. Let me just call it out right now. What a load
I
of shit.
completely forgot what happened in Monaco, to be honest.
So I will tell
Checo
you this:
fun.
the reason, so the quote unquote reason that they are saying Max had to not let Checo pass is that Checo crashed in Monaco qualifying on purpose,
So that
so
Max
that Max
doesn't
does
get
not
P2.
out qualify him.
Yeah, P1, sorry, yeah.
Checo was on pole in
No,
Monaco.
it was a Ferrari 1-2 Monaco.
Wow.
Yes. So
Wow.
apparently the same Dutch reporter who said that Red Bull overspend was on catering said that this has been confirmed that Checo admitted to Helmut Marko and Christian Horner that he crashed on purpose in Monaco qualifying, and that is why Max Verstappen did not agree to move for Checo. So, Honey Badger, there are people who are defending Max Verstappen right now, and these are the lengths that they would go to defend
Okay.
Max Verstappen.
Okay, so my question is, okay, he might have crashed on purpose. All right.
Crash
fine.
Gate 2.0.
Okay, whatever it is, okay, fine. But what about the times when he helped you?
Yeah.
That is
Don't
because
they-
he also wait. I have an answer. I got this answer from I don't know who the fuck that person is. He said, quote unquote, Perez had to help Max because he was helping Max win something Perez can never imagine.
Wow.
So fair to say there are still delusional people who believe in the goodness of Max Verstappen. Good for them. Enjoy your bubble, and I will
Oh
be
my
there for
God.
the day that bubble bursts. If I
Dude,
mean,
I
if
think
this
I-
could not, I don't know what can.
I think I am living in a bubble, dude. I never saw these comments. So whichever comment I saw, everyone
These
was
are
like,
on F1. No, wait. These are on official F1 pages, F1 TV, these WTF1 everywhere.
oh my
Just
God.
go in comments. You would have a field day, bro.
Yeah.
It's
The comment
amazing.
section is lit AF.
There was a guy who was fighting with this person who said Perez cannot imagine one. He said, please get out of DTS season 4.
Okay. So yeah.
I was so happy after reading that. These people only, I think, have started watching F1 now. And for 2021, I think their only point of reference is DTS because in DTS, it is not shown how much Perez helped Mac last year.
Yep. So, but I think I have a theory. I think it's more about what Perez said in what do you say, in Vegas. It's not about what he did in Monaco. It was
What did he say?
so George Russell made a cheeky comment that Crofty, are you allowed to ask questions to
Perez,
Red Bull?
Red Bull drivers. Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And Checo did not reply there, but Crofty then asked Checo, are you allowed to answer? And Perez said, they are not here, so who cares?
Ooh.
I think it is about
Nice,
that.
nice.
But
I don't think it
Max
is
said,
Monaco.
No. Max said, I told you about it in the summer. It is something which is long back.
No, I don't think I have heard that radio. As like he said that we spoke about this last time. I don't think he specified. I know that some places I've seen the summer thing, but it doesn't make sense. I don't think Checo crashed on purpose. First of all, second of all, do you really think at Monaco, it wasn't that obvious that Red Bull is going to win, and how did they win? Like it wasn't obvious at that point of time that Red Bull is going to dominate the way they have in this season, right? If you think that there was an information to Christian Horner and Helmut Marko and Jos Verstappen that Checo crashed on purpose,
And they would not have made a whole fucking
I
monstrosity
understand
of it.
from Christian Horner and Helmut Marko's point of view, right? It's like a kind of cheating, and they would be under an obligation. Jos Verstappen does not care. He would have run his mouth.
He's like, mere bete ke saath dhoka.
So I don't think that I think it's more about what he said in Vegas than about what he did in Monaco. But everything aside, man, it's not the end of the world for you to give up a position for a teammate that has helped you so much. And yeah,
You cannot justify this behavior.
you
in any
cannot
which way.
justify this behavior. And even in the media media pen, a reporter asked him, was it about Monaco? And he said, I'm going to let you guys decide. Like, how? Okay, in this weekend, Max Verstappen, for the second time in this season, has admitted that he deliberately made a move to crash into another driver and has no action taken again. Okay, he got a penalty, but again, I still think that this crash and yield mentality, this has to go. And then second, they have insinuated now that there was a driver who crashed on purpose in a qualifying session and there is no investigation. Like the minute these things started coming out, Red Bull should have started getting heat for not bringing this to attention, because the insinuation is that Perez admitted it to Christian Horner and Helmut Marko. Why is the FIA not like, okay, Christian, did this really happen? Because if it did happen, you should have reported it. Why is that not happening? Why is that not happening? It should, because you know what? You know who won that race? You know who won Monaco?
Perez.
Yes. And so now if you are saying, and if you are insinuating in the media pen that Perez crashed on purpose and then he eventually won the race, how is there no action against him? I don't understand.
Dude, there is one more thing. So I saw this meme and I completely forgot. I just pulled it up again. Did you see what Max Verstappen's mother told? Did you see that?
Yeah, I have seen that screenshot.
I'll read this out. So there is a screenshot in this meme, and the meme description is, so this is Max Verstappen's mother Sophie talking about the rumors of Sergio Perez cheating on his wife after the Monaco GP win.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the description of the meme, and the screenshot says so Max's mother's Instagram. The comment is, she was replying to someone. I think the person might have posted something about Perez's Monaco win.
Yeah.
So she was replying to that person, and she was telling that, and then in the evening cheating on his wife.
Cheating on his wife. Yeah. And you know, for a team that has for the last 2-3 weeks said so many things about being respectful and mental health and this and that, and then the mother of that driver is saying this shit about his own teammate, where it's not like he asked for his kidney, dude. It was a very simple demand. Let him pass in a title fight which is already over, but his title fight is not. And okay, let me paint you guys a picture. If Max Verstappen has the chance to win the Abu Dhabi GP but has a threat from Charles, do you think that Red Bull is going to prioritize Sergio Perez to get that P2?
No way.
Or are they going to
No
prioritize Max Verstappen for getting that record by breaking 15th win in a single season?
Tough call.
It's not a tough call. They'll obviously go for the record winning win. Does not matter. Red Bull has already won the constructors. I mean, a 1-2 in a drivers championship would be a good thing, but it's not their priority. I don't think. I really don't think so. It's not going to happen. So yeah.
Okay, I'm seeing I see a funny comment under that meme post which I just described. Someone commented, so it runs in the family.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I can't. You know, they have a lot of nerve calling other people to be toxic when this is the kind of shit they do day in and day out in the media, in the social media, and on the track. Like, I can't. Like, Max Verstappen never had my respect, but today I can say he can have the best fucking redeeming arc in the history of mankind, and I will still not respect that guy. I can't. On principle, I cannot. He is one guy I don't think can redeem himself in my eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's come to predictions because I have a meeting in 7 minutes. Anything else anybody wants to say about this?
Nothing much. Alonso P17 to P5. Amazing.
Okay,
drive.
oh my god. George Russell, congratulations on your maiden victory. We are very
Maiden
happy.
victory.
Yes. Sorry that Max Verstappen's shitty behavior took the attention from you, but incredible, amazing drive. Not a foot wrong. Made all the right calls. And Mercedes, congratulations for finally ditching that horrible hard tire. Man, I was so scared that they would go on the hard. Good that you learned your lesson.
Yep.
So cheers. Okay, prediction league. A very spicy battle going on here. So let's do Kramer's prediction first. Making a good comeback in the prediction league, by the way. He predicted Max, Lewis, Charles. So he got 2 points for Lewis. Fastest lap to Max. George got the fastest lap. So then he said Alonso above Ocon, at least 2 DNF, and Gasly above Tsunoda. So he gets 3 points for all of them. And he gets a total of 5 points, which brings his total to 61. Shakuni, you predicted Lewis, Charles, Perez. Fastest lap to Lewis. You said Vettel, Alonso, Gasly top 10. All three of them. Only the Alonso thing happened. You get 1 point and you have a total of 53. And And Honey Badger, you predicted Max, Charles, Sainz. So 2 points for Sainz. Fastest lap to Lewis. You said sprint and main race will have different winners. I mean, I'm not sad that
Did
you
not
lost that
happen.
point. I'm not sad at all. Being a Mercedes fan, I'm so happy. Fastest lap to Red Bull at the end of main race, which also did not
Nope.
happen. And both Alpine in points in main race, which did happen. So you get 3
Yes.
points. And you have a total of 63 points, making you the leader of the prediction league. I predicted
Thank
Lewis, Max, Charles, fastest lap to Lewis. Vettel in points, Aston Martin P6 in constructors, and Danny Rick makes it to Q2. So I get 1 point for Danny Rick, and I am tied with Kramer at 61. I think it's fair to say that Shakuni is officially out of contention.
Yes.
Unless he gets all 10 points and none of us get anything, even then he will be tied with Honey Badger.
Nice.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. And what else? Yeah, Abu Dhabi, the fucking boring race for the season finale. And I think both me and Chakoni as Mercedes fan and Honey Badger as a Ferrari fan are just fucking glad that this season is over. It's finally coming to an end.
No,
Can't
but
wait for
actually
2023.
for us it is more sad because now our team has away. So like guys, little too late, don't you think?
I still think that they threw away a victory in Mexico. I will die
Yeah,
on this
yeah,
hill
yeah.
again.
They did.
But yeah, they did throw away a victory in Mexico for sure, and maybe something could have happened in Silverstone also.
But my point
But
is
it's
we're a
okay.
little too late for finding all the right pieces of the puzzle.
No, man, I think somebody put it very nicely. So, like 2013, Lewis did not have a good season in Mercedes, and then he had 2 great seasons. And then 2016 was a bad season, and then he had like 3, 4 great seasons. And now 2022 was a bad season. So, let's hope that it's the same pattern. So, like every time Mercedes has a bad season, then the next 2, 3 years they have a very good season. I'm just going to say this.
What I want is I don't care about anything. Next season, gloves off. Take
Gloves
the
off,
fucking
man.
bulls out of
Yeah.
position, man. They shouldn't
I
be the
don't
first.
I fucking care.
Can have anyone, even Ferrari.
No, I'm okay with Ferrari. I have no patience for Red Bull now.
Yeah,
Honey Badger,
yeah,
I
Red
got
Bull,
your back.
Max.
I got your back, Honey Badger. Ferrari's fine.
Thank you.
Ferrari's fine. I'm done with Red. I'm like, no, I can't.
Anyone but Red Bull.
Anyone but Red Bull. Seriously. I think we're back to the 2021 end sentiment of anybody but yeah.
Yeah.
My point
Okay.
is the team which is not जो team खुद के driver का नहीं है वो किसी और का कैसे होगा?
I mean, in all fairness, Red Bull did ask Max Verstappen. It is more that Max did not give the position away to Checo. Red Bull was pretty much on point asking Max to do it. Like, Max was the bigger asshole this time. Like, I mean, I would have blamed the team if the team did not give the team order at all, but they did give the team order and Max did not obey it. So Max is the bigger asshole this weekend, not Red Bull.
But you do
they're
realize
just Red Bull
when someone
everything.
doesn't follow the team order in Mercedes, there is a huge ass penalty and a fucked up bashing from Toto rather than
I mean,
they shook their
see,
hands and Max has said he will do everything to help Checo in Abu
yeah,
Dhabi.
but again, like, this is the bet that they made, right? This is the bet that they made for themselves. All these years of not criticizing Max for anything, and now it is coming to bite them in the ass. It's the bet that they made for themselves. Now lay in it. Okay, guys, I have to go. My meeting is starting. Thank you everybody for
Bye.
listening to this episode. If you like the episode, please like, share, subscribe, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We are also available on YouTube. So if you want to hear the podcast there, you can hear us there. And until the boring ass race weekend of Abu Dhabi. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks, guys.